Hey guys, it's the Dirt Bike Girl. If you don't know, my name is Jessie. So I'm back from Carolina Adventure World, and as soon as I pulled in, Trials Bike George was here. Not to be confused with Instructor George. Two different people. One's on a Yamaha, one's on a KTM. But Trial Bike George has had a lot of experience in trial bike riding. That's why we call him that. And I've been dying to work with him. So you guys out there, you might not know this, but speed hides a lot of your flaws. You can get away with a lot just by turning the throttle. Riding slow is really difficult. And I've been working on my slow riding. I've been working on my trial bike skills. These will really help you out with your riding in the woods and all around. I'm really enjoying learning this stuff. And I had an amazing lesson with George where I learned so much, and I wanted to share that with everyone. So let's take a look at the video. All right, guys, sorry, sun's going down and it's getting a little dark out. As you guys know, I've been working on trying to do a practical wheelie.
Yeah.
So the point of this is that I can lift up my front wheel and skim over holes, ruts, over top of logs, whatever it is. And Trials Bike George is trying to help me learn to do that. So first step is to be able to be stationary and balance your bike, and then lift the front wheel, just like that. And we can see his positioning. He's going to... This is hard, guys. Really hard.
You gotta be straight. That's hard.
You need to work on your stationary, your stagnant retention first.
Okay.
All right? And those of us who are really short, pay attention to how he's dipping his knees down to push down the front of the suspension, not just the back. So the motion is we are going to dip our knees down, and then as we're coming back up, we want to give it a little bit of gas, and that's going to lift the front end. We want to do this slow. We want to have our foot on the rear brake. Those of us who don't weigh a lot and are short, you've got to be kind of dramatic with the little bit of weight you have. You can see I'm starting to get a little bit of dip in my suspension.
Yeah, and get my foot on the brake. Okay.
This is a timing thing. So as your suspension is coming back up is when you want to give it gas. And it takes time to get this together. I also found as my suspension was coming back up, I'm giving it a little bit of gas, and I'm pulling on the handlebars a little bit to lift it. And that's just because I don't have a lot of weight to throw around.
My front end doesn't feel like it bounces much.
All right, so here. I'm going to hold you up. Get up in position. Put that rear brake on. And I'm not going to help you lift or anything. You have to do it yourself. But I'm going to keep you from falling over. And just get a feel for the speed of that front suspension. So you want your brake on hard, you want your rear brake on hard.
Okay.
You kind of compress and try to lift it.
So compress and lift.
Yeah. So here's the thing. First off, your foot is coming off the rear brake.
Oh, can't do that. All right.
All right. If you want, take it out of gear just so that we're a little more in tune tune of what the bike's doing.
All right.
Brakes got to be on hard.
All right.
And then compress that front, nice and slow.
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
awful stiff.
It's really stiff for me.
You know what? Get off for 1 second. I just want to feel how stiff that is.
It's probably not nearly as stiff for you.
Okay. So it's not really stiff. But here's what you got to do. You know what? Put your foot down. I'm going to show you something on my.
All right, go for it.
So.
Really pay attention to his positioning.
Well, you're supposed to compress the suspension that you go down.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
For the front wheel and for the practical wheelie,
Uh-huh.
it's more of like a rowing motion where your knees dip and then straighten out. And what that does is instead of compressing the whole bike,
It's pushing forward.
you do in the front.
All right.
So you
That made a lot of sense to me, especially since I don't weigh a lot. This motion to me is almost like going down to sit in the attack position. So I'm almost going into the attack position and then jumping back up. Because I don't weigh much, I need to be more dramatic.
But if you pull before the suspension's coming up, you're going to be fighting it.
Yeah.
If you pull after the suspension comes up, you're also fighting it. So part of that technique to ride and bounce
Uh-huh.
is to learn the natural speed of the motorcycle.
All right.
Because that's what you want to work with.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
As it goes down, you want to be coming up, moving your weight backwards. Are you recording?
Yeah. This is all valuable information for me.
All right.
I'm not recording, to forget about it.
Because again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm still learning.
All right, but let me tell you something. Roger, my dad, other George, Everett. I can't tell you how many people have sat here and tried to explain this to me, and you just made it all click in my head. And now all of a sudden I understand how to move my front suspension, not only just bounce my back suspension, but my front and my back. That was just the most valuable lesson I've had in 3 months.
Well, that is, yeah. Very good. So we'll both learn to be wrong.
Yeah.
If it's wrong.
Yep.
But anyway, so now when you go around that oval, do the same thing.
Yeah.
Remember that rolling motion.
Yep.
Add a little bit of throttle. Make sure you're
Put us on the brake.
because the next step is going to be lifting it and using the rear brake to bring it down, just so you get comfortable
Yeah.
with controlling what the motorcycle's doing. Because when you do go into the woods, when you do go on obstacles, you know, you got to have that balance and you're using
Control.
everything at one time. Right?
Yeah.
But like I said, you got to learn to walk before you can run. So you got to learn one fundamental before you learn the next one.
Absolutely.
When you learn that one, it's a stepping stone to the next one, and then the others
on Sunday and help me teach my advanced class?
Maybe.
Not this Sunday, last Sunday of the month. All right.
Yeah, so we'll go around and just kind of get that
Yeah.
feeling.
This is why I believe in having getting advice from lots of different people and trying out what they say, because you never know what's going to work
right.
for you.
So it's
Someone
a
might have a different way of explaining it
growing
that
motion.
just makes it click in your head.
All right, no.
You can see right here I let my
Me-
fingers off the clutch, and as a result I stall out. And I know better, but I'm thinking about so many things that I've just forgot one thing. That's why you got to practice, practice, practice.
Alright, didn't do it. Got a little bit. Got a little bit. Nope. Oh, timing on this is hard.
He makes it look so easy.
Aha! Did it! Alright. Oh, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Wasn't right. Almost. Nope. I was too far back. Now the pressure's on. It's because you're behind me. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to skip over this part. We're just going to work on it
I
on
got
another
it
hill
like
like we
2
did
times.
earlier. All right, here I go to practice again. I'm getting much better at starting off. This is on a hill. And pretty proud of myself. For little things, remember to pat yourself on the back for little things.
Nope, too fast. Nope, not right timing. Get my foot on the brake again. Woo!
That's it, right there. I did it.
Did it
Woohoo!
that time.
We're going to talk about using the clutch now.
No, I've never been taught that.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like you were saying, steps, right?
Uh-huh.
Once you learn that motion to get that front end up,
Uh-huh.
if you feed in a little bit of power, that's going to help you. You don't want to feed it too much because you're
Go
going
right too high.
You could be jumping a little too far.
I
because,
don't-
like I said, you need
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready for that.
to bring it up, but the clutch will make it so much easier, even if your time is a little off.
Uh-huh.
And like you mentioned before, you're going to have an aha moment.
Yeah.
That's the way that kind of works. And
Yeah.
you'll feel it once or twice, and then you'll go back to doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But once you have that aha moment, your mind, your muscles remember, and then you try to go back to it.
Yeah.
So the clutch definitely helps. Your timing's a little off because there's enough power to do it for you. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to do any of that, but the clutch will bring it up.
Bring it up for it.
But it might help you. The only thing is you've got to be confident with that rear brake. And if you're not yet, then do some more, and I don't expect it to be.
Yeah. We've done 20 minutes.
Do some more ovals
absolutely.
Feed out some gas, and then apply the rear brake. Push it a little bit so it doesn't stall. Feed out, hit the brake, just so that you're used to using that brake. And what I'm talking about is
this is something we teach in the class. And not to do it while I'm sideways. What? Dip my knees while I'm doing it. Okay. So, dip my knees. Don't let my body get going. I see where this is going. Alright, I feel it. So, I see where this is going now.
yeah. So now you had one or two that were perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw how much. You probably compressed at least half your suspension.
Just like that.
And then when you gave it a little gas, it was like weightless.
Yeah, I felt it. It felt great. I'll tell you that, and beyond that, why this is such a great exercise for me, I just put on this giant brake pedal, because when I would reach for my brake pedal, it was so far forward, my whole body would collapse to this side. So I stopped using my rear brake altogether and was just using my front brake. Well, I just changed it, just got this bike, just changed it up last week. So I'm almost retraining my brain again to use my rear brake. So,
Now, the other thing is, because you're short,
yeah,
because you don't weigh too much, you weigh less than this bike does.
yeah,
So for you, it's doubly important. It's important for everybody. But
Yeah.
It's doubly important for you to exaggerate your body weight
yes,
because your weight
Yeah.
is the only thing that can counter,
yeah,
that's 220 pounds with gas, right?
yep, 222,
So you're half that.
yeah,
So if it wants to fall, I mean, you really gotta
yeah,
not to.
yeah, I've got to be really exaggerated.
Sit there and you let the power take you away, put you off balance, you hit the brakes, and when you're off balance,
Yeah,
you have to work. Every movement has to be countered with another.
yeah,
So when you're hitting the brakes, not in these exercises, it's a good lesson, but when you're hitting the brakes, you want to be pushing back.
yeah.
When you're giving the gas, you want to be going forward.
Well, that's, and that's,
You want to be
yeah. The very first time I hit the brakes and you told me to dip my knees, I was like, this is against everything I know.
Exactly, and it is, and that's why sometimes I feel like I shouldn't be.
Yeah,
People ask me, like, no, if you watch every YouTube video, this is wrong, but this is
sometimes this is right.
sometimes it's right, I guess.
Yep,
So that whole thing with the brake, loading the front end, body, that's how you get over a log where you barely touch it.
yeah,
So if this was a wet log and it was angled and you're in the woods and you're going up a hill, well, if you do all that right before it,
then it won't be a big
there's
deal.
20 pounds on that log instead of
Yeah, 300, yeah,
yeah. So and that's what gets you over those low traction areas.
yeah,
You know? So eventually when you get these movements down, when you hit a log, it's gonna feel natural.
all right,
You'll be able to
I already
as opposed to
see,
doing it with speed.
yeah,
When you do it with speed, now if this was a hair scramble or a race, sometimes that's necessary.
yeah,
But if you're out in the woods and you want to get over, speed's not necessary.
No.
And if you learn how to do it without speed, because speed is a crutch.
yeah,
It'll mask all your deficiencies, right?
it does,
So if you can do it slow, then when you hit fast, it's king.
yeah.
Right?
That was just,
So
but
now-
that's what I've been doing is to float the front end. I've been gas on, weight way back, because that every inch it counts. Weight way back, pull it on my handlebars, and that just gets me skimmed over it, you know.
You know, and then like another little exercise, just to show you, to kind of prove that you can move all over the bike.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it still does what it's supposed to do. It's just to go real slow, and a lot of times before I start riding, I like to stretch on the bike. You know, basically
Yeah.
pulling back, pulling forward, sitting in the front, sitting in the back, sideways, left, right. And again, it's just a technique to show you that you can move and you're supposed to move all over.
Yeah, I feel that. I do that 50 times a day. I know.
I think it's
do
important
that
to note
50
here
times a day.
that
That move right there,
we
I'm
all fall,
notorious for.
we all crash, and that it's an important learning lesson for us. That we need to pick our bike up and keep going, try again. We need to realize our mistakes and why that happened, and then learn from them. And he realized that he had too much weight on his front tire, and it slid out. And you can actually see the mark, the crab walk from it.
With the bike too. Holy crap. That's a tight turn. That's
I'm
incredible.
just so impressed by his riding ability. It blows me away every time I see him riding. I'm like, I want to be like that.
Just doing that right now, it just reminded me, just by doing the second time after I fell, that I had too much weight on the front end. And so the rear end didn't have enough weight because I was too far forward. And if you take a look at that skid mark, my front end was pushing
Yeah,
because the rear end was driving around.
yeah.
As soon as I put my whip further to the rear, the front end started biting. So those are the kind of lessons we need to
Every day. I think falling's the best thing that can happen to us. I really do. I'm going to grab my sweatshirt real quick.
Okay, guys, that's it for part 1. Hope you enjoyed it and learned as much as I did, because I definitely learned a lot. Thank you so much, George. You were wonderful, and the way you explained things really made sense to me. I really appreciate it. Guys, remember, if you're having a bad day, it's only one down and the rest is up. Thanks.